Captain Kami. And I guess I probably have to run this because you're.
I got you.
Oh, you got it. Okay. Or Captain African America or Captain Americant. Captain Un-America, more like in this situation. Anthony Mackie. So we kind of talked about this last week while we were playing Space Marines, but if you haven't heard, he was in Italy and he said something really stupid, and then he tried to kind of like backpedal it. Basically, he said, Captain America means a lot of things to me, and America isn't one of those things. And it's just like, did you know what you were saying? Like okay, let's take like the things that you think like are bad about America aside for a second. His name is Captain America. First of all, he's got the American flag on him. His shield has the American flag. His helmet literally has an A on it for America. I mean, like, dude, how stupid are you? First of all. Second of all, you should not be playing Captain America if you don't like America, because that's his kind of his.
He's not
that's
playing
kind of his
Captain
whole.
America.
Well, you know what I mean, but that's kind of his whole thing. Is America. Even in the MCU, like after after he gave up on the U.S. government, he still is patriotic. He still doesn't give up on America. It's so
which is most of us too. We don't like the government interfering in things, but we're very proud Americans.
Yeah, I mean, America isn't politics. America's America. So it was just a really stupid comment. And I don't know if he necessarily meant to say it. I think he just kind of said it and was like, this is why actors shouldn't talk, like they're stupid. But he tried to backpedal it. So he's made a comment that I am a proud American, first of all. So he caused some backlash. He said, let me be clear. I'm a proud American.
Not Obama.
I'm a proud American, and taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. It's very okay. He does say more. Cap has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to. That is true. And I think a lot of people around the world, they're not American, but they still look up to him as a character. They still appreciate those aspects of him because America represents freedom. So it's those qualities of America that people like in Captain America. So I think he agrees with that, and he was probably trying to say like Captain America means something different for everybody, which is true. But the way you said it was pretty stupid.
Pretty dumb.
So
yeah.
So who knows? I don't know if he meant to say it that way, but this was his original comment. To me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. It's about it. And then it just kind of like spirals down here. It's like, what are you saying at this point? It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity, someone who's trustworthy and dependable. What does that have to do with America, though? Like, you didn't make a point here. If that's what you were trying to make a point, and you didn't make a point. These are two separate things altogether here.
I think he's trying to virtue signal here. Like he's saying, like, I don't think America should be one of those representations because it's about these good things, and I don't see that in America today. Is the gist of at least how I perceived it.
Yeah, I mean, again, he was also in Italy though, so it could have been he was trying to say it doesn't need to be America, like for you.
Well, it's not Captain Italy.
It's not Captain Italy, but like you don't have to enjoy Captain America because he's from America. You can enjoy certain qualities, which I agree with. Sure. I agree with that.
Yes. But the way he said it to me and the way that I did it at first was like a virtue signal. I actually didn't even know he was in Italy. So
right.
That I mean
there was context to it, but yeah. It's
But
just
still, it's like you say, I don't think America should be that representation
right.
because I think this man represents these good traits. You're like, okay, so you don't think that America has those traits. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Ultimately, the thing I have more of an issue with is the fact that he's even playing Captain America. So.
Right. Well, he's not playing Captain
He's
America.
not playing
He's
Captain.
playing Captain African America or Captain Falcon America. So
No, he's just playing Falcon in Captain America cosplay.
right. Yeah. He said in an interview with EW, I think we live in a day and age now where little black kids feel like they can't connect to a character who doesn't look like them, or little girls feel like they can't connect to a character who's a guy because they're just different. Yep, they are different.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody's so personal nowadays. It's not so much about connecting to an emotion or an idea. It's more so connecting about someone who looks like you.
It's identity politics. That's all it is.
Exactly. And he like made a comment basically saying that they were trying to personify Red Hulk as Trump. And then made a comment like, guys, come on, just enjoy the movie. Like, stop bringing politics into this. Dude, shut up.
Brother, read your
Just
own posts.
STF. Like, get out of here, man. So, at the end of the day, actors are just stupid. And I'm just going to continue to believe that.
To be fair, though, Trump's kind of going Hulk mode on the government right now. So
Trump is going Hulk, but he ain't Red Hulk. He's the red, white, and blue Hulk.
True.
Anyway, but despite this, other people have something different to say. The Mary Sue, the good old Mary Sue. We love the Mary Sue. They said, "This is your reminder. Sam Wilson is Captain America." No. The worst guys in the internet are back about yelling about Anthony Mackie, mainly because he tried to point out that Captain America is a symbol bigger than a patriotic icon for Americans. That is not what he pointed out. Again, you can read between the lines. You can kind of look at it contextually, but that is not what he said. So, no. Mackie originally said in a Q&A this week that Cap represents a lot of different things. We just talked about that. He then had to clarify that he meant that Captain America is bigger than just where the shield represents to Americans. But he said that in an Instagram post. He didn't say that on the stage. So no, you're still wrong. Personally, there was no need for clarification on Mackie's part. He's right. Okay, now here's where we're getting out of hand.
Okay.
Mary Sue.
Jeez, Mary Sue's correcting a black man. That's
she's
racist. So racist.
No, she's defending him. She said he didn't need to say anything else.
Right. She's speaking for him.
Yeah, right.
Ooh. So she's robbing him of his agency?
His agency.
He didn't mean to say that.
Cap is bigger than just the patriotic beliefs that Americans must live and die by our country. Captain America represents more than that. But Mackie's words have found their way to the racists who refuse to acknowledge that Sam Wilson is Captain America, and I'm here to shut that down.
I'm here to shut that down. As
that
the Mary
case.
Sue that I am, I'm shutting this down, boys.
I'm just crapping my
fantastic.
pants hearing her words.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I'm scared.
Sam Wilson is Cap, and he's going to be a damn good one at that. Okay.
Nope, because he's not Cap.
He's not going to be a good. I'm sorry, but he's not. And it's not because he's black. He's just not going to be a good Cap.
It's
This
because
article-
he's Sam Wilson.
This
He's not
article is
Captain
He's
America.
not Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
This is the same thing with Miles Morales. He's not Spider-Man. He's Miles
Peter
Morales.
Parker is Spider-Man. Miles Morales is Miles Morales.
They're
And
different.
well, I was about to say Chris Evans is Captain America. Oof.
Well,
Steve
Steve
Rogers
Rogers is
is
Captain
Captain
America.
America.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump is your president.
This article was probably just written by Anthony Mackie with an alias.
Yeah, right. No, it's definitely Mary Sue. It's the same chick every time. She's
men like
over-
nerderotic.
Yeah, here we go.
Those
Calling out the
felons.
names. Men like Nerdrotic. He's a felon, by the way. If you didn't know, he's a
If you
felon.
didn't know.
Who refused to use brain cells when interacting with media, took Mackie's words and tried to put some spin on them. I love how Nerdrotic always says his response to this is always, "Show me your long boxes." They don't read comics. They don't give a crap about this.
Yep.
So he wrote on next, "This is what happens when you don't have Captain America in the Captain America sequel." Oh, wait, sorry. This is Nerdrotic. I got to change my voice. Shoot. This is what happened. I can't even do a Nerdrotic voice.
This is what happens.
This is what happens.
Captain America.
This is my felon voice. This is what happens when you don't have Captain America in the Captain America sequel.
This is what happens when.
This is what happens.
That's my
what
felon
they
voice.
say. That's what.
That's what they say.
That's true. Captain America: Brave New World does have Captain America in it. You know, it might have Steve Rogers in it. You're right. That's true. I have heard rumors. That's a good point.
He comes back.
He does come back.
I should have never given this to you.
I should have never given this to you. That Captain America is Steve Rogers, and he's going to be great. Yes, I agree with you very soon.
He said.
The title is not specific to only Steve Rogers. Many have taken the shield since Steve in the comics. Famously, sorry, I think the word you were looking for is infamously. One of them being Sam Wilson. No, nobody. You know what happened when Sam Wilson took over? It got canceled multiple times.
When did he?
People were tired of
take up the shield. What years?
2015, I think it was, when all different Marvel was.
So
around.
In the modern era.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, here's the funny. Yeah, like people were just getting tired of it. It. I don't think it got past. I mean, I can't say for sure, but there was more issue ones of his Captain America runs, I think, than at least Bucky's. I don't know about the actual Captain America, but a ton. People, when Bucky was Captain America, people wanted him to stay on like forever. Like everybody loved Steve Rogers, but they were like, you know what? Bucky's actually a great Captain America. He deserved it, you know, and it was a good passover. He let's keep him. And then they brought in Sam Wilson, and then that didn't work out, so they had to go back to Steve Rogers. So, you know, proof is in the pudding.
Timeline's already been written.
Yes. Yeah, and so you know what? After Secret Wars, we're gonna get Steve Rogers again, probably. In fact,
but it'll be a black Steve Rogers.
In fact,
yes, yeah, true. With blonde hair and blue eyes. In fact, the first true Captain America. Oh, here we go. Was Isaiah Bradley. Before Steven Rogers in the comics. I don't think that's true, but I can't confirm that. Can we get a quick fact check? Can we get a
Yep.
Okay, let's get a fact check on that. Because I just can't believe that's true. I could believe that was a retcon, but I doubt that was the actual. There's no way that in the original comics he was the first Captain America.
Well, the original comics were racist, so we had to retcon them.
Right, so we don't count those. Those aren't real.
All right. We've got, this is according, I'm just going off Wikipedia, okay? I'm sorry. Sue me.
So it could be, it's 50-50 chances, right?
Yeah. The character first appeared in Captain America Comics #1, published on December 20th, 1940 by Timely Comics, a corporate predecessor to Marvel. Captain America's civilian identity is, in fact, Steve Rogers.
Wow, imagine that.
Huh. It's almost like we knew that.
That's kind of mind-blowing, actually. Like, I would never have guessed that. So, yeah, you can say that. It's like saying that William Hartnell was, in fact, actually not the first Doctor Who, because the first Doctor Who was that black lady in the new Doctor Who, because that was what they said. Okay. Anyways, Okay, so BS. But men like Nerdrotic don't actually care about that because it doesn't matter. They think they know who Cap is and will allow. I just love this. They think they know who Cap is and will be loudly incorrect and racist just because. Dude, he literally has read all the comics. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
You know how
okay,
many
I found
comic books this guy owns? Like,
I
this is
I just
the worst person to go after about comics.
I
Literally.
just read on the Britannica.com. It was in
Okay.
fact Steve Rogers. So
There you go.
and
Can't
it even says
repeat
in
that.
here,
You really
post-war
surprised me
years,
there.
the
Took me
post-war
off guard.
years, so post-World War II, saw
Yeah.
a proliferation of differently themed comics, horror, funny, animals, westerns, romance stories, everything. It seemed, except superheroes. With the disappearance of Rogers, the mantle of Captain America passed to a succession of replacement heroes, but they failed to resonate with stalwart Sentinels of Liberty club members. Captain America Comics ended with issue number 73, July 1949. And after 2 issues titled Captain America's Weird Tales, the series was canceled barely 4 years later. However, Captain America returned in Young Men number 24, and the Captain America comic resumed printing May 1954. Yeah, so they tried doing that back in the 1940s, and it didn't work. You just got to keep Steve Rogers. Sorry.
Well, were
Just-
any of those Isaiah Bradley though? I doubt they
I
were.
I have not seen that name in my search yet. So
Because I
I'm gonna
guarantee it was a
let me just
recent invention.
Captain America.
Just
Isaiah
look up
Bradley.
Isaiah Bradley comic book
Yeah.
history and see what.
Okay,
pops
so
up.
he's black. Yeah. I'm gonna do the Wikipedia first.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
I like how she also says will loudly say it incorrectly. It's like you guys will literally scream
You guys belch, yeah, like
when
All right.
when you don't get your way.
So here we go. The first appearance of Isaiah Bradley, Truth, Red, White, and Black, number 1, January 2003.
okay. There you go. 2003. I'd say that's not the first appearance of Captain America. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I
if
just
know
love how they
I'm
they
pretty sure
write this.
1940 comes before 2003.
Like, this is verifiably false. We just proved it live. What are you doing?
Truth was originally planned to be outside the Marvel Universe's official continuity. The editorial decision to place it into continuity meant explaining the timely comics' first publication of Captain America 1940, a full year before Pearl Harbor and the true start of our story.
The problem is that they'll say like, yeah, he was the first. He was the first. Well, how do you know that? Because the Falcon and Winter Soldier said so. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Let me read this out loud. Maybe it'll make more sense. Truth co-creator Kyle Baker further clarified the respective timelines of Bradley and Rogers in an interview. With Captain America, people get on my case for changing Captain America. We got a lot of grief from the Captain America fans on the series until the 5th and 6th issues came out, when it turned out that we hadn't tinkered with the continuity. Before that, everybody was very upset because our story started with Pearl Harbor, and everybody knows that the first issue of Captain America took place before Pearl Harbor. Somewhere in the middle of the series, it's revealed that Cap already existed and we hadn't tinkered with the timeline, and suddenly the book is okay. Okay, so yeah, the creator said that they existed at the same time, but they didn't know of each other.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna write this off as like dumb fanfic. Okay.
They you know what they did? They looked it up on their Google AI, and
Who was the
because
first Captain America?
because everybody has to be black, it said Isaiah Bradley was the first Captain America. So
Who was? I'm just gonna Google it. Who was the first?
was it
Captain
Google?
America?
Is it Google Gemini? Google Gemini.
Yeah. Yeah. In the comics.
I bet they fixed it by now, but still.
Yeah, Steve Rogers.
Of course.
Steve Rogers. So yeah,
Steve
technically
Rogers is
Mary
Captain America.
Sue,
Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
you're wrong. So looks like Nerdrotic right again.
Right again. It's almost like he reads comics for a career,
It's
basically.
almost like he has long boxes.
It's almost like he's read comics his entire life.
Whoa. Maybe
Uh,
in prison because he's a felon.
yeah, even it's almost like he owned a comic book store.
No.
All
right, moving on.
anyways, as Noah Reed pointed out on Twitter X, the kind of men like Nerdrotic use things like Mackie's quote as their own dog whistle to just woefully misunderstand the point being made. The way there's a very specific type of person who refuses to use any type of critical thinking or comprehension skill. They just throw words in for like, okay, what do you mean by this? Furthermore, there are decades of comics and movies. And
what does that have to do with anything?
Okay, prove your point with that then.
Yeah,
Y'all don't deserve Anthony Mackie or character. You can keep Anthony Mackie. Well, you know,
she just proved our point. Yeah, there's decades of comics and movies telling you that Steve Rogers is Captain America.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
oh, yeah, and the movies part too. I'm like, dude, what? He's
That's
Captain
the
America
point.
in the movies. Like, you can't deny that, at least.
Oh my God.
Insane.
Oh, this is Reed. Okay. This is
Reed.
This is a soy boy, Reed.
This is a soy boy. The way, yep, there. That's what he said. All
right.
I bet the ratio was insane.
I want to see this guy's long boxes.
Reed is wrong. Men like Nerdrotic do not deserve Captain America.
Men like
Captain African
Nerdrotic.
America.
Yeah, she's been saying men like Nerdrotic. Yeah, men do like.
She really likes Nerdrotic. Clearly, she's really trying to get his attention here.
She's got a crush on him.
She's got a crush on him. He's a symbol of hope and strength, and all of Cap's core principles are the opposite of men like who think they know anything about Captain. Like it's just go
Okay,
home.
I would like to state there are decades of comics and movies telling us about Captain America.
There's so many inconsistencies in this article.
I think we'd know if we, read and watched all of those.
I wonder what she looks like.
Oh,
yep. She looks crazy.
She got pronouns. She got pronouns.
She got her pronouns in there.
Oh, there you go.
She's been a writer professionally since 2016.
And she's still only the assistant editor. Come on.
She has
women's rights.
She's a cat lady.
She's clearly a cat lady. But you know what, guys? It doesn't end there. And this kind of goes into like, I guess the what we were talking about earlier is they never learn. It'll never change. It continues because there's actually, this has been going on with Disney as far back as the 90s. They've been trying to go against the culture for a long time. But luckily, more recently, we can actually see where it's coming from. So I'm not going to actually read these articles. This one I will, but Captain America Brave New World shows Disney can't escape the culture wars. They always talk about it, but it's true. They cannot escape the culture war. In fact, this is an article from 2022. Returning Disney CEO, this is when he came back, taken over from Bob Chapek. Returning Disney CEO plans to quiet down culture war controversies, insists woke themes, not political. You can see the picture they use there, Bob Iger. 2023 article. Disney CEO plans to quiet the noise in culture war. Didn't even change the picture that you used.
I didn't even see that you changed articles.
Yeah, I didn't think you did.
This is a full year later, guys. Same was that writer? Yeah, writer. Same writer. We heard this year too. Bob Iger saying we want to go back to quality over quantity, and we're still getting 3 Marvel movies this year, 2 shows. Still getting all that quantity and not so much that quality. But
what did he say this year or last year?
Let's see. Well, let's see what he just said here at the end of this month. Captain America: Brave New World. So it's been going on for a long time. While the studio desperately tries to avoid politics,
Yeah,
okay,
right.
the stars of the upcoming Captain America movie and Spider-Man TV show are making waves by just barely slipping off message. Okay. Well, let's find out what they mean by this. Okay. When Captain America: Brave New World star Anthony Mackie was promoting the upcoming Marvel sequel at a press event in Italy, he said, "To me, Captain America represents a lot of things. We just talked about this." Mackie posted a clarification, which is quite likely precisely how Mackie originally meant it. Okay, more cope. The MCU's previous cap, Chris Evans, gave a very similar quote while promoting Captain America back in 2011. "I'm not trying to get too lost in the American side of it. This isn't a flag-waving movie." We also got to remember Chris Evans is also an idiot. And also bye, Buffalo. I don't know where he went, but bye. Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's here. I got him.
Oh, I
That was
didn't
weird.
know. I didn't know if that was me or you guys. Okay.
Oh, what happened? Did you lose internet?
Yeah, I don't know. Just froze up.
Oh, okay. The sentiment is almost certainly part of Disney Marvel's infamous media training for the 85-year-old character. Emphasize the Cap's positive universal qualities, not his specific Americanness, which comes which comes with potential I don't know how to say that word, jingoistic associations, particularly when promoting the movie overseas. Okay, yeah, obviously that's what always happens. They're always getting their cards of what they need to say in interviews. So yeah, at the end of the day, they're just actors who are being talking heads for the executives. So but that still doesn't excuse them from being the way they are. But I get that. I understand that. It all takes a slight all it takes is a slight tweak of phrasing for a statement to shift from a bland press junket quote to a comment that gets Hulk smashed on social media. Even with the clarification, the film has received backlash as some seek to brand the movie as the latest anti-American and woke garbage, because it is. From Disney at a time. Well, not the latest, actually. Well, actually, it is the latest.
Yeah.
Well, it will be the latest at some point. From Disney at a time when, ironically, CEO Bob Iger has made it clear for nearly a year that he'd prefer the company avoid any more culture war drama. Well, we've seen it's been actually lasting for more than a year. So, maybe we don't believe him on that front. Yet Brave New World nonetheless provides an easy target for those looking to read too much into things and use the film for metaphorical comparisons at both sides of the political spectrum. As President Donald Trump hands out paradigm-shifting executive orders, Brave New World offers up Harrison Ford as a power-mad U.S. president who turns into Red Hulk, wrecking everything in sight. Sounds like contributing to culture war drama to me. Where was I? There's also an assassination attempt on Ford's character, which was removed from the film's trailer in July after the attempt. I did hear about that on Trump's life. The film was originally subtitled New World Order, and you can imagine how much fun that the anti-globalist conspiracy crowd would have with that one. Well, I mean, yeah. Another very ugly part of the Brave New World backlash is that Mackie's Sam Wilson promotion to Captain America is getting dubbed and acts as a DEI move. I mean, what else is it, though? Because again, like looking even at the MCU, all signs pointed to Bucky as taking over the mantle.
Bucky Barnes.
Yep.
I mean, from his
best
very
friend.
first appearance in Winter Soldier as Winter Soldier, there were signs, so it kind of was blindsided on, like just kind of came out of left field in Endgame, he's like, "No, I'm giving it to you." It's like, oh, what? Even at the time, I wasn't really into like culture war, and I was like, what?
Yeah,
It just didn't make sense.
it felt you almost were like feeling for Bucky. You're like, man, dude, like you're his best friend, and you just got snubbed.
Yeah.
Boy, he earned it.
Yeah,
It just
and he
didn't
was
make sense. If you were
he was
following
redeemed.
anything, it did not make sense. Yeah, it didn't have. It wasn't. The cards were not showing that. Particularly in the wake of Trump's anti-DEI rhetoric and his executive orders making DEI-related government hiring changes. This is despite Evans, Steve Rogers having a fulfilling arc as Captain America and then passing the shield to a logical successor in Mackie's character. You can't just say words because that is not logical. We did not watch the same MCU.
Well,
Put your politics aside. It makes no sense.
You do listen to Nerdrotic, so you must not use your brain cells. So
you don't.
Right.
You don't
you
use
may
your brain
not
for
understand logic.
comprehension and critical thinking.
Yeah. I didn't know comics and movies existed actually. So
For decades, bro. For decades.
For decades, yeah. I just found out. That's crazy. That's crazy. So it's whatever. Who then starred in a hit 2021 Disney Plus. A hit? No. It was not a hit. Dude, Disney Plus has not made a profit ever. They've just broken even because they bundled with Hulu and HBO. So what? You can't. Okay, so like a hit would mean like what's does it make its money back? Well, in order to make money, you have to have subscribers on Disney Plus and then attribute the watch numbers. It does not compute. It's not a hit. It's factually incorrect.
And more hit us over the head with a bunch of crap, but
you need to do better. Yeah. There are a lot of good memes that came out of that show. But that just wow. I can't understand how you can come to these conclusions. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where Wilson wrestled with the very issue whether he was the right man to become the next Cap, which, he's not. Marvel's Handover, in other words, felt considered. What? Considered, gradual, and earned. Dude, you're just saying words. This is so stupid. No. It's an end scene in Endgame that came out of left field, and then a show that talked about racism. That was Marvel's considered, gradual, earned handover. Far more than it arguably needed to be for a comic book franchise. Okay, that's no. Again, these people hate this stuff. They hate nerds. We okay. I'm not going to get into this, but whatever. You clearly don't like comic books if you have to say far more arguably needed for a comic book franchise. Whether you appreciate Mackie's take on Cap or no, the man has been in the MCU since 2014. He's put in plenty of hours taking on the new film, tracking on the new film, which opens February 14th. Okay, sorry. I went past that too quickly. Oops. Yes, he has been in it for a long time. And I appreciate him as Falcon. He's a great Falcon. I really like him as Falcon, actually. Let's keep him as Falcon. He's a good character.
I like Falcon.
I mean, even if he as Falcon led the Avengers, which I still wouldn't argue for that, but even if he led the Avengers as Falcon,
it'd be a better alternative.
It'd
for
be
sure.
better.
I mean, I'd rather have like Doctor Strange or something lead the Avengers at this point, but he's also kind of an idiot. there really is no good leader at this point. So
Thor could have been until they made him a blundering idiot.
yeah, and at this point, it's unclear whether Thor's coming back. So, what is the MCU anymore? You know, remember like how how much it made sense, like how cohesive it was. I don't even. It's so lost. It's just like all over the place. Oh my goodness. Okay. Track on the film, which opens February 14th, certainly doesn't seem to be impacted by any of this. Brave New World is headed for a very good 90 million US box office opening. We'll see about that. And then there was the other Marvel. Why is it releasing in February if you want it to be a hit too? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and then it won't be a hit, and they're like, "Well, it's because it released in February."
Yeah, I mean, released in February, so like obviously this. And then there was the other Marvel political flap that happened this week, which is probably a good transition, but we'll get to that in a bit. The studio's newest animated series, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which, again, he's only white because they contractually cannot change the character of Peter Parker. So, but he's the only white character, pretty much.
And DEI doesn't exist. DEI doesn't exist.
DEI does not exist. It really doesn't, because it is not diverse at all, actually. It's very one-sided. So, but we'll get into that. It stars Hudson Thames voicing Peter Parker, Spider-Man. The series, yes, Peter Parker and Spider-Man, they are interchangeable. You are correct. The series has been getting some racist backlash for portraying Norman Osborn as black, with Oscar nominee Coleman Domingo voicing the character.
Okay,
I just hope.
I had to look up Hudson Thames because I'm not familiar with who he is. I was like, is Hudson Thames black? But he's not.
I had that same thought.
He's got to be a really good voice actor because he sounds very white. But we don't. Okay,
he was a part of What If and Quantumania.
Oh yeah, I did know that. Yeah. So it's been getting backlash. It's not racist. First of all, every time we talk about any of these things, these race changing issues, first and foremost, it's about hand me downs. Essentially, is what you're doing. The character is great. Everybody loves the character of Norman Osborn, Green Goblin. Leave him the way he is, first and foremost, just because people like the character. That's you're changing fundamental things about the character. Second of all, stop giving black people white people roles, because this literally is giving them. You are saying this character is a better character than anything we could do, so we are just going to make them black. How insulting is that? Yeah. And third, are you going to make him a villain then? Because Norman Osborn is very evil, and he raped Gwen Stacy in the comics. So, yeah, are you going to go that route with this character, or are you just going to try to make him a misunderstood, black guy? Oh, Peter, you're so racist. Therefore, I'm your enemy.
Psych, this is DEI internship, not robotics.
So it really has absolutely nothing to do with racism, but of course, it's like talking to toddlers here. It's really incredible how racist these people are by saying what they're saying, by being who they are. It's so ironic. The irony is real. But so yeah, that's the backlash for Norman Osborn as being black, not because we hate black people. Okay? So get it right. While this is perhaps sadly predictable, The unexpected bit came when Thames dropped this viral quote when promoting the show. And I heard about this and I was like, what the heck are you talking about? I thought it was awesome. I mean, my biggest fear was that it was going to be annoying and woke. And it wasn't. And I was like, yes, this is great. It is so well written. Like, it feels real. Again, these actors, they don't think for themselves. So this was clearly written.
Yeah, I mean,
woke is
anybody
changing,
can say
guys.
anything.
It woke is now a wolf in sheep's clothing at this point.
Yeah. So this is
So
a guy who was a part of Quantumania and What If. So
100%.
apparently he doesn't care if
and
it is woke or annoying.
Quantumania was less. It was woke. It was also just retarded. So
Annoying. It was annoying.
There's that.
That was
really, really
peak
bad.
MCU right there.
It was peak MCU. Actually, you are correct on that. Well,
even more than
the
She-Hulk?
Marvels was peak MCU.
Oh,
She-Hulk
I meant
Marvels.
the
Marvels
of the
was peak
She-Hulk
MCU.
of the MCU era. Like, that is.
Yeah, it was that era. It was peak of that era. Yeah, but it was also the worst one of. If the Marvels wasn't out and if Multiverse of Madness didn't come out, Quantumania would be the worst Marvel movie easily.
Oh, movie, yeah.
Oh, it's not a movie. I meant just movies, but
yeah.
She-Hulk's pretty bad. Loki's pretty bad. Loki's more damaging than anything else.
Well, Loki's just like you guys are just making stuff up.
Yeah,
I mean that's what they do in most.
Loki was the epitome of everything wrong with multiverse. And then Moon Knight, of course, we can't forget Moon Knight. That was also peak MCU, and also just so sad because I love Moon Knight. But anyways, yeah. So this was just fake news, I guess. Misguiding, trying to get viewers. This looks desperate. This looks very desperate, is what it is. This is there's something deeply amusing about a studio struggling so hard to not come across overtly progressive, who then has a star blurt out something that veers entirely in the opposite direction. You guys are dumb. I'm sorry. If you cannot read between the lines, you are stupid. One imagines the harried publicist. Why can't anyone just stay in their damn talking points? Those are the talking points, though. That's the thing. They are staying. People are just so gullible and ignorant. It is so obvious what's going on. Because they still want to. They still have their. They still need to meet their DEI quotas, and they still want to make money. So this is how they do it. They juggle between these two constantly. They're actors, they're always going to be actors. And speaking of failure to stay on talking points, right around the corner is the juiciest culture war target of them all. The live action Snow White.
I like the
coming in March 21.
I like comments such as these and these.
Yes.
And these.
And these. Yes. Star Rachel Zegler's comments about the original film. Yes. Weird. The characters and politics have so continuously enraged conservatives over the past year that one suspects she's secretly shorting Disney stock. I mean, that's fair.
Insider trading. I mean,
yeah. She's 100% the reason that movie is going to tank. But then the trailer came out.
And the dwarves. She's like 90%, 10% of the CGI dwarves.
The dwarves are living nightmares is what they are.
Yeah.
And they can't decide between whether they're live action or animated or what. They're just yeah, terrifying. If you haven't watched the chat, the YouTube channel Chat Music, they take chat comments and then they put it to music, and they made two Snow White trailer ones, and it's amazing.
Yep. I was just gonna ask you if you wanted to pull that up and play it.
I mean, I'm fine playing it. Yeah, let's do it. But let's get through the rest of this. The characters, projects, blah, 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 which brings us to Brave New World again. And one final controversy for the moment. So much has happened this last year. It's easy to forget the film's trailer in July was a political lightning rod for reasons involving Shira Haas' character, Ruth Bat Sirif. In the comics, the character is a Mossad agent. In the film, she's been changed to a high-ranking government U.S. That's weird. High-ranking U.S. government official is how it should read. This creative change managed to get flack from both sides. Either Disney is anti-Israel for erasing the character's Mossad past. Yeah, that's right. Or the studio is pro-Israel for having an Israeli hero in the first place. The can't please anybody nature of this debate is perhaps a good lesson. The best way for a company with enormous and intense fan engagement is to handle controversy, is to just assume that it will always be there. No, it's just to stick to the source material. Because the source material is sometimes political, but for the most part, very apolitical. It's just human issues and problems, and solving those. You don't need to push any specific message. In fact, it's best to not make people don't make characters that are assumed to be Antifa. Don't make characters that are assumed to be Donald Trump. Just make characters and like a fake president. Just make President Ross. How about that from the comics?
Don't even make characters. Use the characters that already exist.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. But yes. Don't insert anything political or modern into it other than what's already been there. That's your tactic. That's how you're going to make money. And there's going to be good writing. Everybody can find something, something from it. They can take something from that, whatever it might be. That's how art works.